think looking at their where they want to go and what they want to achieve, what their own abilities are, playing to their strengths, and looking at gaining as much experience as they can, be that in the private sector or in the voluntary sector first, or get. I think mentoring is very important. If you don't have the experience, there's no point in reinventing the wheel.
Anticipate spending a lot of time getting close to the problem, right? Proximity to the problem is the most important piece of research and time that you will spend. If you're not from that community, if you're not necessarily familiar with some of the really intricate challenges that they face, the historical nuance of how that problem came about, who all of the stakeholders are, what their motivations are, what their value sets are, all of those kinds of things, then whilst you might come up with something that's innovative that could be adopted by a community eventually, it won't be something that you necessarily would be able to find to root yourself in for a long time, I would say.
The duality of the social enterprise, right? There's the business and the management side, and there's the social side and the needs. So I think it's really important to keep those two lines of vision open, right? And to make sure that you're not just like, okay, I have this issue and, I'm going to do it, but it's not enough. Like, you have to also be creating a sustainable business. So I'd say to students to learn about, study, and remember, keep in mind those two roads, right? Two sides of it.
Like I've seen both sides of this, right? Because I worked in the corporate world for 10 years and earned a lot of money in various different in different jobs, and was utterly miserable. Like, so I know what it's like to sort of drag yourself out of bed on a Monday morning and just wish it was Friday. Like, I genuinely do. And so I regularly remind myself of how lucky I am to work at something where, if I'm not doing this, Mida, like teaching people how to grow food or encouraging people to grow food or selling stuff about growing food, I'm actually growing food myself. Like, that's what I do. I'm a very one-dimensional character to some degree. So like, I just consider myself so lucky to work at something where I'm like, I think I'm really good at it. Like, I think, like, in Japanese culture, they talk about ikigai, which is like, working at something that you can do better than anyone else in the world. And it's not, I'm not the best social entrepreneur in the world. I'm not saying that, but I can do this, I think, better than anybody. I can get paid well for it. I can do something that I'm absolutely passionate about, but critically, it's something the world needs, because, like, let's be honest, the planet's on fire. Like, we've got maybe 10 years to fix a climate emergency that could wipe out life on Earth as we know it. And so it's not the time to be thinking about going into a career where you're like not doing good in the world. I think you've got to be thinking about finding a passion and something that you can do brilliantly and that can change the world. Like, I think that's what I'd say. Go work for a social enterprise, go start one, whatever, but don't waste years of your life when there's so many urgent issues that need to be fixed, like sitting in an office, pencil pushing for the man. Like, that's, the time is past for that stuff, I think.
Well, the first thing is, if you can follow your passion and you really are passionate about it, you will undoubtedly have more success because you really believe in what you are doing. And it's okay. It may not always be possible, but I think you should give it the best go that you certainly can. But I think you got to do. But the reality is that, look, there's a lot of issues that are out there that sometimes other people are solving. So I think you've got to do your research as well. I mean, and if you're interested in pursuing something, you've got to find out, is there anyone else doing it? Maybe not only in this jurisdiction, but in other jurisdictions as well. So I think, probably like any business, if you're setting it up or you're thinking about following something, a passion, and you want to make a change, and maybe you're thinking about that you've just set something up, you really got to do your research. Find out who's out there. Find out, are there, like, not everybody is the entrepreneur. Not everybody is the one who's going to set up the company. I didn't set up this company. I was fortunate to be able to come in and maybe add value in different ways into the organization. So not everybody is going to set a company up. That may be your ambition, but maybe your ambition is also just to work in an organization. So if you want to work in an organization, show interest in that organization. Write to them. Don't, think about how you might present yourself to them. It might be an opportunity to get work experience. Offer yourself as somebody to say, look, I've got some time here. Get a bit of insight into that organization. Be open to asking for advice for people as well, or just picking up the phone. See, can you get, I've had over the years lots of calls from people just asking me about, what do you do there? Or we heard about Speedpok, or somebody said, or I'm interested in this. And just sort of, don't be afraid to ask. Now, not everybody's in a position to say yes, but you've got to ask and be open to do that as well. So I think those sorts of things, follow your passion, do your research, look for opportunities where there are touch points to maybe further your ambition, and don't be afraid to ask as well.
Well done, first of all, for being aware of this area and for thinking how, I think if you're looking at social enterprise and social innovation, etc., you're really coming from an aspect of how can I give back to society? And, what difference can I make to society or to my community? And that's a lovely aspect or a way of thinking to have, and to develop that more, and don't, not to get lost or bogged down sometimes with academia or etc. But to always come back to that core issue of why do I want to make a difference, or what difference do I want to make? How do I want to give back to society?
Cultivate that passion. That's the first thing. Preserve it. That is a unique gift. It is really important that you use that. You have an obligation, I think, to use that passion and to put it to purpose, because not everybody has. Let's be honest. It may seem like everybody thinks maybe like you and they have similar passion. It's not true at all. And certainly as you get older, passion sometimes can diminish. So I think that's the first thing is really treat that as a gift and go and do something about it. If it's I think the future of business and society is leaner, greener, more sustainable, more inclusive. I think that's the way we're going, generally speaking. So I think, considering the social entrepreneurship route is really worthwhile. And if you're interested in that, there are fantastic ways to progress and to cultivate your passion, through organizations like Enactus or Feroiga, or the Social Entrepreneurs Ireland, or various other social enterprise organizations, Irish Social Enterprise Network, Social Enterprise Republic of Ireland, various organizations which can help you to cultivate your ideas and to bring things forward. But always think about how you can maximize your impact. At the end of the day, it's like if you were going for a job interview, I think it's really important that people think about their skills, how they can have the greatest impact on society. But you do that by having the skills that you need to move things forward. So yeah, I think there would be the few things I would say to students considering it. But certainly go ahead, we need you. Society needs new ideas. So please do consider social enterprise and innovation for the future.